Welcome back to Rüniverse. I'm Andrew, and in this video, I'm going to be playing Rüniverse, the solo mode against the Infernals deck. So this is the solo mode of Rüniverse. If you haven't seen it before, this is all the cards from the set kind of laid out there. There's one of each there, and then these are the 12 Infernal Mages. And then this is the second copy of each of those cards. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do in order to set up is I'm going to take one of each. This is for a pure random setup. If you just want to play, you can play the same setup multiple times. You don't have to go through this whole process to build the deck, but the pure random mode is to kind of take 10 cards at random. And those are going to be the cards that I'm going to play 2 of each in the main deck. And then the other 10 remaining cards will be, or rather I should take 9 cards. 2 of each of these will be in the main deck with the mages, and then the other 10 cards will be the dream deck. So I think recently I did a Trine Booster Deck pack opening, and then I did a gameplay with a kind of handy-cam style that may or may not have seen, but that was basically, I want to use that deck again. So I got to play a few games with my friend in that day. Well, I just filmed the one game of it though, and I want to use that deck again. So rather than just having single-use booster deck pack, I'm going to use it again to try it out against the Infernals. So the Infernals are difficult sometimes. Sometimes you get lucky. I think I'm going to let myself go first. I did play a test game, and just to remind myself how the solo mode works, and I lost that one. So I'm going to give myself the advantage, and I'm going to be able to go first this game. So now that I've selected the 9 cards at random, I'm going to go ahead and put that together. All right, so the main deck is together right here. And I'm just going to give that a few final shuffles. And as you can see, so the extra 10 cards, the cards that are in the Dream deck, these got the second copy here. So you can see, for example, these are mostly cards that are in the base set of Rüniverse, all from Ruby. So it's a very Ruby themed deck. The Infernals are pure Ruby magic. And they have these upgraded Infernal versions of the cards, which are only usable by them. But as you can see, the Burning Dragon, normally Burning Dragon is level 4, but the Infernals version is a level 6. And some of the cards are slightly reworded just to work with the AI logic. Some of the cards are purely buffed up. So we'll see some of those in action as we go here. Okay, got the Dream deck shuffled up now. And we can go ahead and set up. And I'll start by drawing my opening hand. Make sure it is keepable. So this is a non-mulligan hand. And so I will open a rift, and I don't draw. And I'm just going to start out with any of my mages. So I'll play Festus here as my mage, just a destruction mage. And I guess I will go ahead and evoke the Egg of Unerring Tenacity. So I can use this ability to have it turn into a Vim for one of my creatures, but otherwise I will end my turn. And I'm going to go ahead and let the egg guard. The Ruby deck, the Infernals definitely can come out swinging, so put some protection for that. Now, I technically should have drawn the opening hand for the Infernals already, but I'll go ahead and do that now. So it might be kind of tight on space here, but basically I'm going to draw 7 cards. And I'm going to also, since this is their opening hand, I need to get at least 3 mages. 4, 5. So now I have 3 mages. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the rest of the cards face down. And I did make 2 separate piles. So when you're setting up, the first 3 mages you draw are kind of set aside. But otherwise, throughout the rest of the game, they're all going to be in a single queue. So it's the Infernal's hand, but it's also a queue. And now that we have 3 mages, we're going to do face down here. So card 6 and 7. And then the Infernals can kind of play normally. So we're going to open a rift for them, and then they get to draw a card because they're going second, and we will check for a gift, and they actually did get a gift. So the Infernal Volcanic Mage here has a Ruby gift, which means our egg stops guarding, but that's fine. And then they will play Mage. So this card goes into their queue because they already had 3 mages. And now they play the first mage out of the 3 that they got there, and that's their first mage. And there's another little thing here going on, but we're going to skip it because they only have 1 mage, so it kind of doesn't matter. But what they do is normally, of course, a mage can task for 1 power on the first turn because that's how many rifts you've had open. But the Infernals aren't really limited by that amount of power. They will play whatever is next in the queue, even if they can't afford it. Now, this does cost 3. They're going to play this Infernal Flametusk Boar. 3 is more than 1, so they've overspent, which means they won't play anything else that costs power this turn, but they're still just going to go ahead and play it. So Lash 4, when it's attacked, evoked, it attacks for 4. So it goes into play there, and that trigger will happen. Now, the Infernals always prioritize breaking bonds if they can. That's priority number 1. So they will break a bond because of the Ruby gift. The egg isn't guarding, so we got a bond broken already. And now they can't play anything else that costs power. So this Infernal, or this Aggressive Urge is going to stop them. So they are done after that. So they'll go ahead and untask. And the Infernals are also very aggressive. They always guard with their mages that have bonds if able. So that was their first turn. And then we can go ahead and set up my dream counters here, my 3 locations. But I'll take my second turn, open a rift, and draw. And no gifts again. Play Bobby the Tenacity Mage. I'm going to evoke Citralisk here, and then have the egg become Vim. So the Citralisk has the ability that I can task my mage to give it a Vim, but I don't have enough mages that I'm just going to throw them away. I do have 1 in hand, but I might want it for next turn to play my 3rd location here. So I'm going to save that for next turn, and which means I'm not going to be able to task my mage to give it Vim. But it does get level +2 for each of its Vim. So I'm going to use the egg's ability to become Vim here. And then for Bobby, we'll task her for 2 power and evoke Trine Skulk. And I could have assisted, but I really want somebody at each location. I think this level 4 Citralisk will be big enough. So Trine Skulk gets a face down Vim from the top of our deck. So it's level 3 with its Might ability. So it gets plus level 1 for each Vim it has, and it just gets 1 right away. And then that will end our turn here. Hopefully that's enough beef and beefy defense to protect us. So we'll put both of our creatures as guards. All right, so I did move the Infernals queue over. We're going to want 3 locations here, so try to have room for that. So they'll open a rift, and they'll draw, checking for a gift. And they did get another gift. This time it's a Dispel gift. Citralisk is level 4. So it loses a Vim, and that is not good for us. They'll play their second mage here from their queue. And now we're actually going to do a thing we didn't have to worry about last turn, but we're going to look at the top card of their deck. Just the face down top card of their deck. And this is going to set the mage order for their turn. So as you can see on the left there's a bigger fire symbol. And on the right is a medium fire symbol. And in the middle is a small one, which that is going to set the order. So their leftmost mage is going to go first as their first mage phase. And then their rightmost mage, which they haven't played yet, will be second. But so in this case, that just means the middle mage will go second or last here. So that's the order that we're going to go in. And that means the Infernal Magmite goes first. The first thing he wants to do is spend power. So he's going to evoke for 2 power, or task for 2 power, and evoke the first card in the queue here, which is the Aggressive Urge. Costs 1. It says if this mage has any creatures, attach Aggressive Urge as Vim to the lowest level one. And the attached creature will have Aggressive 3. So Flametusk Boar now has Aggressive 3, as well as that Vim. And then the next card in the queue is face down. So we're going to flip it up and reveal it. And that's a Kittle. So this is an Aggressive 4 Kittle. The Infernal Magmite still has 1 power remaining, so he'll go ahead and evoke it. And he doesn't have any more power, so he won't evoke anything else, but we do reveal the next card. And it's a Lava Worm, so that'll be for the next mage to play. And then they can start attacking. And again, they prioritize bonds. If they can break any, they do. So the Flametusk Boar is going to attack Festus and break this bond. And we'll check for a gift. And we actually did get a bond gift here. So Cantrell has the bond gift, which means since we have fewest bonds, we get 1 from the top of our deck to our mage with the fewest bonds. So Festus gets his bond back. Cantrell goes to our hand. And that's pretty good. So I'll stack these up. Infernals do take up a lot of room. But also it is important for the Infernals that the order of their creatures is important. So yeah, we're working with a tight space here on camera, but So next will be the Infernal Spinner, and she will task for 2 power. She'll evoke the first card in her queue, which is Lava Worm. It costs 4, but she doesn't mind overspending. That's fine. So she will evoke it. She just won't evoke anything else that costs power. And the Lava Worm has a Flamiostasis ability. It's an activated power. Once per turn, if the Infernals have at least 4 flame counters, I get 2 level +1 counters. If the Infernals have at least 8 flame counters, I attack for 8. Now, the Infernals do not have any flame counters right now, so that ability won't do anything. So they do play it. They actually technically don't use that ability yet. So the next thing they do is evoke the next card in their queue. And that brings us to something different, something else different about the Infernals, which is the Infernals, as you saw, they can overspend. They don't need assists, really. They never assist for each other. But all of the mages have spell abilities. So you can see the spell Infernal Knowledge. The Infernals draw 2 cards. So now that this card is next up in the queue, this is a level 0 spell, doesn't cost anything. So this Infernal Spitfire here, or Spinfire, is going to evoke this spell to draw 2 cards. So that will put 2 more cards in their queue face down. And then their next card in their queue is another level 0 spell. Again, another mage. This time it has the Infernal Blast level 0 spell. The Infernals get a flame counter. I attack for 3. So this card is attacking for 3. And so we'll put this here, I guess, for them. They have 1 flame counter. And again, it's going to prioritize breaking a bond, and Festus has another bond. So here it goes. And we actually got another bond gift. So Flores comes out, and yeah, that's 2 bond gifts already. That is not terrible for us. That's pretty good. We're still under pressure, but yeah, that's not. That'll give us a little more time to set up. So this spell has been evoked. And technically, we still need to look at the next card. It could cost 0. So, and it is another mage, so they'll play this one too. So they're doing a lot of stuff, but they are also burning through a lot of their cards. So they get a flame counter, and they attack for 3 again. Same thing. Festus just can't keep those bonds, so this time it is not a gift. And so this card is done. And then the next card in their queue costs 3 power, so the Infernal Spinfire won't be able to evoke it, and they will untask and guard. And again, the Infernal Mages always guard with their guard for their creatures, rather. So we can go ahead and take our 3rd turn, get our thing, and there we go. Okay, not bad. Trine Gift is going to attack all enemy mages creatures for 2. And that is nice. So, oh, you know what? I did skip the Lava Worm. So after they were done evoking, they should have used this Lava Worm ability. But because they don't have at least flame counters, 4 flame counters, it doesn't do anything. So that's fine. So Mayo's Trine Gift is going to attack each for 2. So the Lava Worm has 2 damage on it. The Kittle is dispelled, which is nice. And the Flame Tusk Boar has 2 damage on it. And then she'll go to our hand. And fortunately, both our creatures survived. So we lost 1 bond, but all of our creatures survived. So I'm going to play Cantrell here just so we have a stone mage. And we'd really like to take out some of those attackers, but because the mages are guarding, they're going to make that a little bit annoying for us. So I think I'm going to start by dreaming with Cantrell and see what we get here. So there's 0 pips. That's the exact card I wanted to see. 2 pips and 3 cards here, total of 2 pips. And with 7, 8, 9, so that's going to take 9 power. I think we can just play all of that. So we're going to do 3 power, and we'll just go ahead and do 6, 9. We can assist from hand if needed. So we're going to play 7 of that. Really, I should probably play Rune Cyclopedia first just to see what we get drawn here, but I think I'm going to be fine to use the Ether Spike and probably just ping off this shield and break 1 of their bonds. So this is going to give them more cards, and that is a gift. The ruby gift means we're not going to be able to guard at the end of our turn, which is annoying. That card will go into their queue. And actually that was a mistake to assist with Festus. So I'm going to take that back and assist with Mayo from hand. That way he's not tasked and he can use the Citrus ability. I think we might end up leaving the worm alone for now. We've got this open location. Let's assist Bobby with Flores for 3 power, spend 1 of it to evoke Heat. So Heat just attacks for 2, and we can hit that Flame Tusk board. It already took 2 damage from the Trine Gift earlier. So 2 more damage. It's level 3. So that will dispel it, which means it loses 1 Vim there. And then with 2 power left, we'll assist again. So we have 5 and evoke this Yeti, which gets a Vim from the top of our deck. A nice big creature there. And then the Trine Skulk, I think I'll just have to attack directly. And do we want to leave that bond alone? No, you know what? Let's take out the boar. It's level 3 against 3, so we will lose this Vim. But that'll take them down attackers. We can close out the game later, hopefully all at once, so they don't have too many cards to work with. And then over at this location, you know what? Actually, before I leave Bobby, I'm going to play this Egg of Endless Magma here as well. So it won't be able to use its ability this turn, but in the future we can use Flaming Motivation to task it and untask an ally, which can let this Yeti attack more than once, which will be nice. I guess we could have put it with that Behemoth, but Behemoth already has Relentless, so I guess that's fine. And then over here we will do that Citralisk ability. Again, it has the top of Reinforce ability, Task My Mage, to give me 1 face down Vim from the top of your deck. So we'll task Festus rather than for power to give Citralisk a Vim. And that will end our turn. Unfortunately, we cannot guard because of the Ruby gift that the Infernals got. All right, so the Infernals can stop guarding. They will open their 3rd rift and draw a card. And they got a heat, no gift there. They'll play their 3rd mage to their 3rd rift. And then we'll check the top card of their deck. And again, you can see this is a different sequence here. So the rightmost symbol is now the biggest, the middle one, and then the leftmost one is the smallest. So that'll be the order they go in this turn. Another thing that happens on the Infernals' 3rd, 4th, and 5th turn is that they gain a dream counter. So they don't start with 1, but they get 1 on, the leftmost mage gets 1 on the 3rd turn, the middle mage gets 1 on the 4th turn, and the rightmost mage gets 1 on the 5th turn. And they will use them. So since we know that leftmost mage is going last, we know that that'll be the one that's dreaming. But as it is, we'll start with the Infernal Volcanic here. So she will task for 3 power because it's their 3rd turn. Play the first card in the queue, which is the Flame Tusk Boar. And it uses its Lash 4 ability again. So it's the same one they had before. The Lash 4 will, when I'm evoked, attack for 4. So we've got bonds open in multiple locations. And in this case, it's actually up to us which one we want them to go for, because for them, it's the same thing. It's a bond here or a bond here. They're fine either way. And so we can decide where we want that to go. And I guess let's have it go for Cantrell. Hopefully we got some more stuff with Bobby. We might be able to defend her a little bit more later. So we're going to let Cantrell get hit here, and we do not get a gift. And then the Infernal Volcanic will check the next card in their queue, which is another Infernal Volcanic, and use her spell ability here to draw 2 cards. So they'll get 2 cards added to the queue. And then heat costs 0, so they'll go ahead and evoke that. So this is an Infernal Heat, level 0, and attacks for 3. And again, prioritizing bonds. And the rules of engagement do apply. So Infernal Volcanic has already engaged with Cantrell, so they can't change their mind now. They can break her bond, though, so they will. And this time we do get a gift. So we get Sierrashin, the draw gift. So we get to draw a card as well to add to our hand. And that is it for heat. And that is it. Oh, no, we do still check the next card. So it does not cost 0. So Infernal Volcanic is done, and we'll go to the middle. So the Infernal Spinfire will task for 3 and evoke the Kettlebeak. Infernal Kettlebeak says, after an attack from one of my mage's other cards dispels an enemy creature, untask me, I get a level +1 counter, and the Infernals get 2 flame counters. Okay, so that comes into play tasked, and then we'll check the next card. Costs 0, so we'll go ahead and evoke that. So we've got our Egg of Endless Magma here, but there's the Egg of Distinguished Mediocrity. So this is a modified version. Again, this is the Infernal Egg of Distinguished Mediocrity, which doesn't have a named ability, but it has a special effect, which is that it guards for the mage, which is a rare event in this Infernals deck. So we'll squeeze that into play here in that middle location. And then they're out of cards in the queue completely, and the Lava Worm will now attack again. So Infernal Spinfire is not engaged yet. They will still prioritize breaking bonds. So they will attack here. Bobby, unfortunately, yeah, we would have loved to be able to guard, but that ruby gift may have lost us the game actually, because depending on what this Infernal Magmite dreams up, this could be it. So I doubt we're going to be getting another bond gift, but I guess we'll see. And we will see now. So he's going to spend this, and next turn it's going to move here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. And let's see. And he's just going to evoke cards one at a time until he runs out of power. And so we're going to get this Rex Imp, costs 2, still has 1 power remaining, so he will go again. So aggressive 3 and deft. Fortunately, neither of those will break a bond immediately. And we can find out what this card is together. Is an Egg of Endless Magma. Okay. So this is the Infernal Egg of Endless Magma, which is like ours, but it gives aggressive 2 as well, and has some AI reminder text or like helpful guidance of how to use it. But that costs 0, so they get to go again. And Rift Burn. Okay. Attach Rift Burn to the enemy rift with the most creatures, and the rift gains this ability at the start of my mage's phase. Rift Burn attacks one of that mage's creatures for 4. So the one with the most creatures would be Bobby, so she's going to get hit by this Rift Burn, but that will spend the last of the Infernal Magmite's power, and we didn't lose. So the Infernals will end their turn. They've got 2 of their mages will be guarding, and then this egg will be also a guard. So I don't think we're going to be able to get through all of that, but it is theoretically possible. So let's draw. Not a gift. We do have a bunch of cards in our hand to work with. You know, we might actually be able to close it out. We got a little bit lucky there that they didn't dream up anything to kill us. I don't know exactly the contents of the dream deck, actually. I wonder, now I'm just curious to see if there was anything that could have straight up killed us. And because the dream deck is mirrored here with these extra set of side cards, I can see exactly what they have. And this one would be the one most likely to end us. So Infernal Inspire would have untasked that Rex Imp, and then it would have attacked Bobby. So glad we didn't get that. This Pyre Hatchling could have done it. Would let them draw a card, and then that would put us at risk of being taken out that way. But as it is, let's play out our turn. I guess we have to remember that when Bobby starts her mage phase, this Infernal Rift Burn is going to deal 4 damage to one of her creatures, but we can choose which one, and Yeti is level 5, so he can take it. And we might actually have it in the bag depending on what gifts get triggered here. So let's start over here with Cantrell, and Behemoth is going to attack the Infernal Volcanic and break this bond. And I've got a Kettlebeak here. Relentless, so after it becomes task on our turn for the first time, we get to attack again with it and break the Infernal Volcanic's next bond here. Also not a gift, which is very nice. And I think that's all we're going to do here with Cantrell. Yeah, let's leave her in case we need to assist or something. Again, we've got it on board, so let's just not do anything we don't have to do. We might end up needing to dream or something. So let's go ahead and have Bobby begin. So this Infernal Rift Burn will deal 4 damage to Yeti, but that does not take him out. So we will have the Trine Skulk attack the Egg of Distinguished Mediocrity, which is guarding here. And then the Yeti, with 5 damage, can attack directly at the Infernal Spinfire, breaking this bond, which is not a gift. And then Egg of Endless Magma can use Flaming Motivation to untask Yeti, and it can attack again at Infernal Spinfire. And this one is a gift, and it's a bond gift. So they actually get a bond, and it goes to their mage with the fewest bonds. But since it's our turn, we get to choose. And I guess let's have it go to the Infernal Spinfire, because we're already engaged there. And now that this has occurred, we can do stuff. So we can just do this very straightforwardly. We can task Bobby for 3 power and evoke Stone's Throw. So it costs 2 less if evoked by a mage with a destruction focus. It's not, so we're paying the full 3. And we choose one to dispel a relic or attack for 2. We'll choose attack for 2 at the Infernal Spinfire, and not a gift. So we're still on track. And then do we want to do anything else with Bobby? I mean, we've got the Citrulix, which can go straight at that last bond. But while we're here, do we want to do anything? Again, I don't think so. Let's just not spend any resources. We don't have to. So let's go ahead and go to Festus and have Citralisk attack directly at the Infernal Magmite and check this last bond for a gift. And it is a Dispel gift, which will take out the Behemoth. But that's fine because we won. So we definitely got lucky early on with like 2 bond gifts, I think, like right in a row. They all got broken in the same turn, but we ended up getting to clear through a turn with no worse for the wear, just by the fact that we cycled through a couple bond gifts. And then later on, last turn, the Infernals had us on the edge here with the one last bond, but they just couldn't pull anything for direct damage. They even stopped us from guarding with the Ruby gift, but I guess that was their luck evening out there. So worked out for us in the end. This Trine Booster Deck pack pulled it out. As you can see, it's pretty well balanced for the Booster Deck pack format. If you wanted to play a constructed deck, it probably wouldn't be a challenge, but it's definitely fun to just open a pack and see how you can fare against the Infernals. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.